Hey, it's Candy. Welcome back to my channel. I needed to talk today. So we're just gonna have a talkie video. I'm gonna try not to get too upset. I'm already upset. On Monday, we lost our Harriet, and there is such a giant hole in my heart. I can't even describe the amount of loss that I feel. I'm gonna try to hold it together. But my big snuggly girl, my big chonker butt, as me and Brittany love to call her, she got her little angel wings. So let me try to tell you guys what happened. So I have so much to tell you. The last week and a half has just been a whirlwind of stuff, but I'm gonna start with this and then we can go backwards. So this happened on Monday. Sorry, I had to collect myself. So Monday, I was on my way home from work, and I had just got off the freeway, so I was like 6-7 minutes from work, and my roommate calls me, who never calls me, and he says, "Christy," and I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, "Something's wrong with Harriet." I was like, what's going on? He goes, "She's not breathing." I was like, "Okay, just hold on. I'm super close. I'll be there in 5 minutes. You know, I'll be there." So I get home as quickly as I can, and I run in the house, throw my purse on the floor, throw my keys on the counter, and he's in my bedroom, and she is on this chair. He has her on this chair. When he found her, she was on the floor, and she was just laying there like she was asleep. And she didn't come to him, which she usually does. And so he went over to her, and she wasn't breathing, and her eyes were open. Her tongue was hanging out. And he picked her up and he put her on the chair, and he was rubbing her and trying to, you know, he breathed into her mouth, and nothing was happening. So I got home, and I'm doing the same thing, and I'm starting to panic, and I called our vet, and of course they're closed because it's like, this is like after 7 o'clock at night because I got off work at 6. And so I'm like, okay, and they give me a phone number for a emergency vet in Vancouver, and I call them and I tell them what's going on, and they're like, "You can bring her down and we can tell you if she's not alive, or we can try to do what we can." I'm like, okay. So I grab a towel and I wrap her in this towel, and I was like, "I'll be back, Michael. I'll let you know what's going on." And I put her in the car with me, and I get in the car and I start to drive. I realize that it's been multiple minutes that she's not breathing, and she doesn't have a heartbeat, and that there's probably nothing that a 45 to an hour minute drive is gonna do. And so I called Cody, and I'm freaking out, and then I get this idea that Roger's really close by, and he's been through this with me before with our other cats. And so I was like, "Cody, I'm gonna call Roger." So I called Roger, and I was like, "Roger, this is what's going on. I don't know what to do." And he was like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I'm by the lake." And he's like, "Come this way." And I was like, "Okay, I'll be at your house in like 3 minutes." And so I pull up to Roger's house, and he opens the passenger door, and she's in the passenger seat, and he does what I did. He checks her mouth, he checks her eyes, he checks for her heartbeat, and he's like, she's gone. So then I break down in his driveway out in front of his house, and he's trying to, you know, keep me calm, and he's telling me he's sorry, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. It's too late at night. There's no vet open that will take her around us. We don't have a place to keep her if we wanted to, like, take her the next day. And so once I, like, get calmed down, and I talk to my roommate Michael, who has been here since they were kittens. Like, they're just as much his babies as they are mine. And we decide that we're gonna bury her in the garden so that she can watch the birds in the backyard, which was her favorite thing. She liked to sit in this window and watch the birds, and she would make these like little chittering noises, and they were so funny to me. And so By the time I got back home, he had dug, my roommate Michael had dug a hole, and he was just as lost as I was. And then finally Cody got home and we all said our goodbyes. I brought Harriet back inside, and I put her on the floor, and I sat on the floor with her. And Athena came over and sniffed at her and kind of gave her little kisses, and then looked at me like, Mom, what's happening? And so I just petted her and I told her it was gonna be okay, and then we took Harriet outside and we buried her in the garden. And right now she's got a brick on top, and then Cody brought some flowers and put them on top of there for now, but we're gonna get something to put on top of that. And then we hung up some pictures that I had, but she's up at the very top. Hey guys, come on. Oh yeah, that just brought me out of that, didn't it? So we don't know what happened. There was no obvious trauma. We don't know. She was slightly warm, but not very warm when we found her, or when my roommate found her, and so we don't know what happened, and that sucks. When I asked one of the vets, like, could they figure out like what had happened, it was going to be upwards of $1,000 for that and cremation, and I just don't have that. So that's that's the story of our Miss Harriet and why she is no longer with us. Like I said, we are just, we're heartbroken, and she was the best snuggler, and I'm just gonna miss her so much. So I know this isn't a great opening to a video, but I'm gonna get myself together, and then I'm gonna tell you guys about the really good stuff that's happening in our life right now, and we can go from there, because it's the way we get through these really hard times that, you know, make the good times even better. So I'm gonna collect myself, and thank you guys for your support. I know I posted this on Instagram, and I knew I needed to tell everyone, because Harriet and Athena aren't just my cats. They've been a part of this channel since I adopted them, and I wouldn't have them without this channel, because I got them through Brittany, and I wouldn't have met Brittany without this channel. So you guys are like so much a part of this too. And yeah, okay, enough crying on camera. I'm gonna collect myself, and I'll tell you all the good stuff that's happening. Goodness, turn on the camera and everything. So I'm calmed down now. So we gotta take it back some. So Monday the 11th, well, the Thursday or Friday before that, so that would have been like Thursday the 7th or so, I got a call about a job I had applied for, and she asked me to come in the next day, and I was like, I can't do that. I can't change my schedule around that quickly. Do you have something on Monday? So she's like, yes, come in Monday, 3 o'clock for a test. Cool. So Monday was a whole day. I woke up and I went to go get coffee, and they had an extra coffee, and they were like, hey, do you want to take this? Because I'm a regular there. I go there every single morning. And they're like, oh, I was like, yeah, my boyfriend's still home. I'll run this home to him, because we live like 5 minutes from the coffee stand. So I bring him home the coffee and give him a kiss. I'm on my way. I'm having a great Monday. And I get around the corner and I take a bite of my breakfast sandwich that he made me, and it splooged all over my shirt. Like, not savable. So luckily I was close enough to home. I came back home, I changed my shirt, went off to work. I was 3 minutes late. I had already texted my boss. I was like, I'm going home to change my shirt. I'll be there. And so the store doesn't actually open till 8 o'clock. I like to be there at like 7:15. I got there at 7:33. So I was fine. I was just irritated. It was just a bad start to the morning. And then this lady came in and just laid into me about not having an appointment for her because she scheduled it online and it scheduled it for the next week. And that's not what she meant to do, but that's what the system did. And that's what her confirmation email said. And her second confirmation email said. But she was mad at me because it was on the wrong day. She just laid into me. And so I calmly explained to her that I could take care of her today if she would like to leave her vehicle with me. With her appointment, it would have been an hour. Without her appointment, it was still going to be an hour. But she still was not happy and decided that she never wanted to come back to our company again. I said, okay, here are your keys, or, thank you for trying, I guess. And she left. And then I handled more customers and I was dealing with stuff, and this young woman came up when she was ready to leave, and she was like, I've been watching you for the last hour and a half and you handled that beautifully with that lady just screaming in your face. I was a little nervous for you. And she complimented me so nicely, and she didn't know how much I needed that after the morning I had, And so I was like, okay, things are fine. And things at work have been a little hectic just because of like the pending close and all that stuff. And so after that, I went home, changed my clothes, and went for this test, right? So I drove from Longview to Portland, which is a little over an hour, and then home, which is a little over an hour, changed my clothes, and then drove over an hour up to this interview, and then home on one day. So there's a lot of time in the car. But so I go for this test, and she sets me in front of this computer, and she was like, okay, we're gonna do the test. There's 2 different tests on here. They are consecutive. Once you finish with the first one, it'll put you into the second one. Excel is open over here. And she walks away. I'm like, cool. So I get in there, and the first couple of questions are pretty easy, and then there's some math questions, and I don't have paper. I don't have anything. And I don't want to, like, this is my paranoid brain. I don't want to go too far into the computer and pull up that calculator, because what if you're not supposed to do that? And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I'm trying to do it in my head, and it's just, the numbers are too big for that, and then we're getting into percentage questions. I was like, okay. So I grabbed a piece of scrap paper that I had in my purse. It was like the bottom of an 8x11 piece of paper that had the address for this place on there and the time that I was supposed to be there. And then I had a doctor's appointment on Wednesday that was also written on there, so I had kept it in my purse. So I grabbed that and I'm using that. And I get like a quarter to a third of the way through the first test. I'm like, this is taking me forever because I'm having to do all these like super hard calculations on paper. And then I decide that I'm going to look at Excel. And if any of you have ever taken like an office test before, there are certain tests where they have you in Word or Excel and they track your changes. They track what you do to like a document so they can see how you did it to test your skills. And I thought that was going to be in like a later part of the test. No, the Excel was there for me to use for all these calculations. And I didn't realize it until about a third of the way through that first test. So then after that, I breezed through everything because like I knew how to do the calculations, but doing them by hand was a lot harder because there was division, subtraction, multiplication, percentages, like all sorts of stuff that I haven't done by hand in quite a while, but I know how to do the calculation in Excel. So it went much quicker after that. So that was Monday. Wednesday, I had scheduled my upper endoscopy. They're still testing me for gastroparesis and things like that. I've only had, I think, 2 sort of episodes of whatever's going on with me in the last like 3 months. So, and they haven't lasted as long as they usually last. These 2 only lasted like 3 days when they usually used to last like a week. So we're getting somewhere. I do know that one of them was set off by me eating tomato sauce. We had a marsala curry sauce and it had tomato paste in it, and I was really bad for a couple days after that. So I don't know if that triggered it or whatever. You guys know if you have mystery illness or ailment, you're just like, what is happening, you know? So anyway, Wednesday morning, I had to be in Portland at 6:30. Cody ended up not having that day off, so Roger drove me to my appointment, sat at the hospital with me, and drove me home because I had to be put under, so I couldn't drive myself. So him and I got a chance to like really talk and like catch back up. I talk to him multiple times a week, but we don't like have super long conversations. We each have our own lives. We just try to like make sure that we're involved a little bit. So I got to catch up with him, and that was super nice. And then I worked the rest of the week. Saturday I got off early because Brittany and her friend were coming over for a game night, so that was really cool to like spend time with them. And then, oh, Friday morning, I work late shift on Friday, so I work the closing shift, so I don't have to be to Portland until 9:30. So I leave my house like 8:15. So right around 8 o'clock I got a phone call from the new place, and they wanted to offer me the position, and I was a little bit overwhelmed because I was like half had my makeup on, and I was like, okay. And so she was like, here's what we'd like to offer you, and da 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 da. And I was like, that all sounds great. Let me think about all of this and talk to my current employer and my manager and see if I can make, because she wanted me to start like this week. She wanted me to start like the next Monday. And I was like, I can't do that. But let me talk to them and see. Hopefully I can start on the 1st. And so I went to work and I talked to my manager and I discussed everything with him, and he's very supportive of me. And then on Saturday I talked to my coworker Jane, who is my partner in crime at work. She's the person I work most closely with all day long. I talked to her, and I was expecting her to be either upset or like pissed off at me, but she was not. She was like, girl, I can't be mad at you. Like, we've talked about this. We're all gonna have to move on. Like, I know that you're nervous about sitting on unemployment. And I was like, I really am. I really am. So everything was cool with them. I had talked to Cody, of course. I had talked to my mom, and they were all like, it's your decision, but like, here's our point of views, here's the goods, here's the bads. And so Cody and I decided that on Sunday we were going to sit down and make a pro and con list. But I had already decided. I decided that I was going to take it. And I was going to take this chance because, let me tell you about the job. It's an accounting administrator job at a water treatment place. And I would be focused on accounts payable, which is something I really love doing. I just love numbers. I know it's so weird. I just love that kind of stuff. So it's a job that I really like. The job is in Olympia, which is close to my family. It's literally like 4 miles to my stepdad's house and like 8 miles to my sister's house, the job. And so this is one step or one stone in the life that Cody and I are building together. This gets us closer to his son. This gets us closer to my family, closer to his job. And this is the opportunity where I am changing jobs now. The opportunity has come for me to change. And so I am making the transition to move. We don't know when that is yet. For now, I'm going to be working my new job Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And then on Saturdays, I'll have to go into, I have chosen to go into my old job on Saturdays and continue to do the bookwork and things that I can do either from home or on Saturday. So I'm taking a step out of the store, but for the time being, while they're still in business, I'm still going to be doing all of their payments and their payroll. So that's a part that I can still do for them. And when my boss had told me that he was going to be closing it, I was like, what do I do? Do I look for something else? He's like, if you get something, you know, I understand. I'm not going to be upset because you have to look out for yourself. And so at that time I had told him, I said, well, when I first came working for you, I did this for my old job. I can do that for you if, you know, that is okay with you. And he was, so we've worked that out where I can do both and hopefully not burn myself out, but it should only be for like 2-3 months tops. So that's where I'm at. There's a lot of things coming, so we probably won't be moving until summer or fall, but that is coming. And that, again, that all depends on how that's gonna go. We're very lucky that Cody and I can carpool. So we'll carpool from our house to my sister's house, where we'll drop Cody off to pick up his work truck, and then I'll drive to work from there and then meet him back there to go home at night. And hopefully the timing works out, and hopefully it all works out, and if it doesn't, we'll make adjustments, because that's what we do. We just have to keep moving forward. So yeah, that's the last week and a half has been a lot of up and down. We're very excited about the steps forward in our life together, but losing Harriet has been really, really tough. I'm trying not to get upset again, but I worry about Athena, because they were just two peas in a pod. They slept together every night, and so I've been trying to give her a little extra love. I can tell she's not 100% herself. She's definitely feeling a loss, but she's just not her black cat self. She's not like screaming as much, crying out as much. She's a little more quiet. And Cody was home yesterday with her, well, with all of them, while I was at work, and she even snuggled up with him under a blanket, which, if you've been following for a while, you know that's not normal. She doesn't usually like him, but she needed some care and she needed some cuddles yesterday, and he was there for her, and I appreciate that. So, all right. So that's the two ups and downs of my life right now. So yeah, hold your pets closer tonight. Give them extra snuggles, because you never know when something can happen. And I mean, that's the same for humans, right? Like, we could lose anyone at any moment. So tell the people you love that you love them. There is no shame in telling people you love them, honestly. All right, well, I'm gonna try to edit this and get this up for you guys fairly soon. I don't know how I'm gonna get through the editing. Maybe I will just not edit. There's not too many cuts that need to be made, so maybe I can just fast forward through all of this and get to the other side of it without having to watch myself lose it again. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Oh, there was a channel update. I'm so sorry. There are a couple videos that I filmed like earlier in the month that are still going to be coming out. I have some sponsor videos that have to go out. That's why Bloom Chic is out already, because it was a sponsored, not sponsored, but they sent me the stuff and there was a timeline. They sent me the items to show. I'm not getting paid for it. But they sent me the clothes to show you guys, and I had to get that out on their timeline. And I have a Temu video that should be coming. I'm really excited about. Some kitchen stuff, so we'll get back in the kitchen. That's one thing, when Cody and I look for a new place, it's gotta have a bigger kitchen, because we can't even cook together. We bump butts, and it's not the fun type of bumping butts. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.